playing the SmackDown. The Rock says, know your damn role.
I'm testifying, I'm flying above the circle. I died to find their watch as I plan to show you, and I climbed up the ladder. They don't know just what I'm holding. Electrifying, lifting you up and over again. They can't define us, an indestructible force to deal with. It never hurt us, there ain't no mercy out on the streets, but I'm with my brother. He tagged me and get somebody beat up. You can't even see us, but we put you up and over again. I'm testifying, I'm flying above the circle. I got to find their watch as I plan to show you, and I climbed up the ladder. They don't know just what I'm holding. Electrifying, lifting you up and over again.
Welcome to the Up and Over Podcast, a professional wrestling podcast where a bunch of marks discuss pro wrestling, where none of our opinions matter and it's all a work anyway. Firstly, I'd like to introduce our eclectic duo from Wilmington, North Carolina. Firstly, Big Papa C. Cortland, and the former Scientologist turned pinball master, Patty Mills.
Hey, yo.
Pat has joined us on our Dallas, Texas WrestleMania adventure that I'm excited to document on the Up and Over Podcast Twitter, which I'll get to in a minute. We also have
be a fiasco.
Our Cadillac Cowboy, and if I could remember everything that I was going to say for you, like Ethan, it's just gotten so out of hand. Coffee chugging Cadillac Cowboy, champion of the Up and Over Podcast, Ethan. There it is.
All right, y'all. We got a vlog coming soon. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, man.
Oh, Lord.
Here we go.
I blew my
Here we
load
go.
early.
Well, we also have the lifeblood of the Up and Over Podcast with us today. As always, streaming from his living room that looks like a guest bedroom, the Bam Bam Bigelow enthusiast himself, Kazee El Gordo Gringo.
What the fuck am I supposed to say after him blowing his load?
You gotta blow it twice as hard, buddy.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Gonna be
We
great.
should just restart now.
Keep going, boys.
No.
Lean into it. Let's go.
Ethan and I drove down to Atlanta, Georgia this past weekend for a GCW event, and I almost wrecked a car driving back 3 times. I had to beat the piss out of myself to stay awake. You have no idea how hard it is being Mike Klinsky. Fellas, this week we have All In, the inaugural event that really turned into All Elite Wrestling. But before we get there, we have some very sad news. Cortland, I will give you the floor for the personal one. The floor is yours, sir.
This week, as we found out around 1 o'clock today, being Tuesday, that Mike and I's friend Kirk Lee from Myrtle Beach Skate Park passed away. And I just want to give a minute to shout out him. He's an old wrestling head, super great heart, cared for everybody. Take the shirt off his back so that way you'd be warm. Definitely a good dude. And I just want to really stress that mental health is important. Reach out to people. There's always somebody who cares. Rest in peace, Kirk Lee. Shred for the dead.
Bing.
Staying on some unfortunate news, in the wrestling world, we had the unfortunate death of Scott Hall. He just passed away. It was what? Yesterday. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. So yesterday being Monday. Super sad. Kevin Nash's little memoir to him was beautiful. Triple H put out some words. I mean, the outpouring for Scott Hall has been tremendous. Seemed like a really, really great guy. A terrible way to pass away, but lots of love to him and his family. And then we also had Biggie breaking his neck on SmackDown this past Friday in kind of a freak incident where it was just like a belly to belly suplex like over the head, and he just landed right on his neck from Ridge Holland. Broke his neck, but he doesn't need surgery, and hopefully he heals up. So Biggie, we love you. You're a gem, and we can't wait for you to get better.
Yep.
Absolutely.
In some positive news, I mentioned it earlier, but we finally convinced. If you listen to last week's podcast at the end, you could tell we're all getting a little antsy. And Ethan and I convinced Pat to buy a plane ticket to Dallas, Texas. So Pat will be joining us on our excursion, if you want to call it that, for the weekend. We will be going to the Collective and potentially WrestleMania Night 1. So, you know, I will be rocking the Up and Over podcast merchandise. Feel free to stop us. Say hey if you see us. Love to discuss some stuff with you. With that said, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, at Up and Over Pod. From there, you'll find all of our personal social media. Tell us that we suck. Tell us that we're doing a great job. Tell us that you want to hear this or that, and we'll cover some different events. UpAndOverPodcast.com is where you will find all the stuff for the merchandise. You know, t-shirts, hats, shorts, koozies, mugs, all sorts of things that we have on there. UpAndOverPodcast.com for all your Up and Over merch ideas. Fellas, does anybody want to add anything before we dive into this week's episode?
I think that you guys should do a little recap of your weekend at the GCW event.
Yeah.
Quick recap then. So my brother Jeff, Donnie's partner Christina, Ethan and I drove from Columbia down to Atlanta. We attended Center Stage, which is a legendary WCW venue. Which once we got in there, I can't speak for Ethan, but it was fucking awesome. The layout was super cool. It was like really stadium seating, and so like nobody was really in front of you. They were like below you. It's just a really cool setup. 500-600 cap. Like, it wasn't a ton of people there, but it was enough to be loud. It was a blast. We had a really good time. We met Nick Gage. Nick was that man was wild. I showed him.
This is your second time meeting him, right?
So I was like, Ethan was there. I was like, Nick, I don't know if you remember this, but in Chicago, somebody came up and showed you a tattoo that they got. That was me. And so I pull up my leg and he goes, yes, that's saved on my phone. And I was like, firstly, Nick Gage having a phone is
the tweets that went out when like he first got his iPhone and people being like, he just fucking FaceTime me right now. They're like, what the fuck is happening?
I forget who
it's so
tweeted
great.
it.
I forgot. It's great though.
Ethan put me onto a tweet that was like, Nick just walked up to me and was like, fucking watch this. And he used Siri to call somebody. Like, that's the funniest shit in the world. So he was fun. I'm trying to think. El Gordo.
No, but before we pass by Nikki, my favorite part of the whole thing was, he's like, "What's your name, man? What's your name?" And he's like, "All right, man, I fucking love you guys. Let's throw this one up." Then they took the picture and said, "And then let's fuck the world."
Yeah. So you will see those pictures if you go on the Up and Over Twitter. You should see it retweeted on there at some point. It was fucking wild. He was super nice, like way different than the first interaction, which he was in his element ready to beat my ass. This time around, he was super, super cool. He was still like in gear, but we turned the corner and he's standing like a fucking wax figure, bro. He's just standing there.
See, like, we didn't know. The catch to all this is we didn't know they were doing a meet and greet with him. And so me and Mike are looking for the merch, and we see the line, and we just turn and start walking around. I turn the corner, I just see Nick Gage standing.
The way
literally just looking
the
like
way
this.
They painted it to me was that they turned the corner and there's a spotlight directly above Nick Gage's head, so it's just shining down on him like a god, and he's just like in Nick Gage stance, just like they're like, what the fuck?
He was people watching. I leave the Nick Gage. We got an 8x10 signed. There's a lot on that 8x10. It says, "Fuck you, you suck," and then underneath it, it's like 2 Hulk Hogan. There's a lot on it. I'll send it in the chat. It's a doozy. I leave there, and I'm just looking around. I'm walking with the 8x10 in my hand, and Action Mike Jackson, who's like, I don't know, 150, stops me, and he goes, "Hey, man, who's that autograph by?" And I was like, "Oh, man, just Nicky over there. Like, you know, just he did a little meet and greet." He's like, "That's cool. If you buy a shirt, I'll give you a picture for free." And I was like, man, he tried to pull some carny shit and get some money out of my pocket. He tried to get me. He tried to get me.
That's not
yo. I'm going to give respect to Mike Jackson. At all these events, he's hustling better than anybody. He's out there. You walk by, he's like, "Hey, man, what's up? You see this shit I got? What's up?"
And these aren't 8x10s.
I got mixtapes too.
These are not 8x10s he's selling.
It's a fucking Polaroid.
Nope, he took like a picture on like a Kodak disposable and had them printed like 10 times and is selling those.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's sick. Christina ended up buying a shirt because she couldn't say no, and he signed John 3:16 on the back. Fucking nuts! It's nuts. It's nuts. He tried to get me with that bullshit. I would have been pissed. I'm not even. But it's fine.
I would have been like,
Action
you
Jackson
accept
and I might be
returns?
fighting.
You
What?
accept returns, you old fuck?
Yeah, come on, buddy. You couldn't have put like Colossians on there, or like what the hell is it? Were they all-
Filipinos or whatever.
Filipinos.
My thing about it is
Genesis, where everybody starts dying. Like,
respect to Mike Jackson, but I will go ahead and fast forward into the actual event. God, never mind. I'm not going to talk about what I wanted to talk about.
just do it. Who gives a fuck?
Move along. I just want to give a shout out to the kid that was sitting below us. I say kid. He had to be about 18 years old. He's filming the whole event on his cell phone in portrait mode.
No.
Just sits there and records and then reacts out loud and is shaking the camera. And the biggest shout out of all to the old man with the bald crown sitting beside him that was
He had
getting
Hulk Hogan
mad
hair,
as
y'all.
Fuck.
Yeah,
He was like,
pissed.
every time the kid would move, he'd go, and he'd be like, and then the kid got up to leave and he went,
I don't think Ethan watched the event.
What
I
the
think
fuck?
Ethan
He
just watched this old guy.
He watched.
Yeah.
He watched the event on the portrait.
oh,
on
me
the
and Cody
portrait
kept
mode of the phone.
flicking him and everything. I'm like, brother, you got to fucking stop this shit.
He was
Annoying,
just
man.
he was stuck in portrait mode watching through this kid's vision.
Dude, I found his Twitter and his YouTube.
Dude, I'm
the
still upset you
fuck,
never gave me his Twitter.
That's
Anyway,
a lot of time on his hands. Holy shit.
One thing before we moved on from the GCW event, I think it's super sick. One, that obviously y'all went and y'all had a badass time, but being able to be there, doing live tweets of it, posting it on Instagram, us getting reactions from GCW wrestlers, promoters, like it's a super huge thing, and we definitely appreciate any love that we get from anyone, but
Yeah.
especially the companies that we ride for. It
And
feels
if you,
good that like fans get interacted with, you know? So it's
And
really
if you-
sick.
if you're not going to be watching those events, or if you wanted to see a live first-hand view, I'm not saying that I'm going to be tweeting from the Up and Over podcast Twitter when I'm in Dallas, but I might be. So might be worth a follow there.
And to give an extra plug, if you're not going to be able to make it to Dallas, there's a rumor going around that I just bought an iMac. And there's also a rumor going around that I'm going to have my phone cleared out with nothing on it, full of storage, ready for film to be made. I'm making a movie in Dallas, starring Michael Klinsky,
Hold on.
starring Patty Mills,
Hold on.
starring Jeff
This
Klinsky,
just
starring
got
the
real
Fullers.
Sorry, the Fullers.
Dude,
so,
everybody.
so
You're just gonna
all
have
right.
shit.
All right.
Oh,
We're getting
God.
derailed here. We're getting derailed here. I wanted to throw one thing in.
Every time I
I-
try to promote something, y'all boot me out.
It's not even that,
Never,
bud.
bud. Never.
It's not even that. It's not that at all.
Continue with your rehearsed shit, Michael.
It's not rehearsed.
It's predetermined.
That's a word. It's not
Y'all are
rehearsed.
menaces, bro. Y'all are terrible people.
I'm sorry. He fucking just. It's not
bad
set up for
people.
me to hit it out of the
Y'all are
park.
bad people. I spoke with Ringo Loco about any people being added to World on Lucha, and I was like, specifically Aramis and Ares, and he was like, we can't get them because MLW contracts, and then he said they won't let them go. So there's that. You know, just getting some fucking news. But yeah, fuck me, dude. Go make a movie in Dallas. Who really gives a fuck? Really? I don't care.
Let's talk about MLW contracts.
I don't want
Let's
to talk
not,
about
though.
MLW contracts. Jesus fucking Christ. Court Bauer's gonna sue us.
Oh,
We don't have
great.
money.
We really don't.
We don't have money.
don't.
Buy our merchandise so when we get sued inevitably, we have money. We can pay for it.
Trust me, cease and desist is coming.
There's no way.
Fucking
We already
someone.
got hit on YouTube. It's been a mess. It's fucking been a shit
I want to
show.
sign an MLW contract.
We lose Ethan on the Up and Over podcast.
Oh man, that's like
God
signing
damn.
Paul Heyman. You'll never get paid.
Honest
Oh,
to God, man.
All right, fellas.
All right,
Let's
you want
dive into.
beer in?
Oh, fuck! Let's dive into All In. September
God.
1st, 2018, at the Sears Center Arena, which is now called the Now Arena, in Hoffman Estates, which is a suburb of Chicago, Illinois. Ethan, we've walked those streets before, bud. 11,263 in attendance. All In was birthed as a Twitter bet between Dave Meltzer and Cody Rhodes in an exchange on May 16th, 2017, when some dork named @the WWE guy_ said, "Do you think Ring of Honor can ever sell out an arena with 10,000 plus fans, something like Madison Square Garden?" To which Dave responded, "Not anytime soon." Cody then quote tweets it and says, "I'll take that bet, Dave. I already gave them their biggest buy rate, put the Bucks and I on the card in 3 months to promote," and then copied Ring of Honor on it. Tickets were put on sale May 13th, 2018, and the event sold out in less than 30 minutes. Ethan, you got something to say, bud?
Somebody on Cody Rhodes.
You got Cody hate. Get it out early.
No,
I'm
bud.
saving that for the garbage match he had.
He's
on the
upset
show.
about the lore that I'm providing on this shit. I'm giving background to All In. He's feisty about it. We dive into the event. We get the national anthem sung by somebody. And then Ian Riccaboni, Don Callis, and Excalibur welcome us to All In, an event that Riccaboni calls, quote, a love letter to professional wrestling.
Oh, yeah. This read to me as a death note for Ring of Honor.
Oh, my.
Oh my God.
That's called foreshadowing, but
New Japan held him
We're
down.
years
Cody
early.
pulled the trigger.
No, buddy.
Um,
Take it back a couple months. They did this themselves. Let's move
Oh
along.
my God. Our first match of the night is Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus Matt Cross. My first note on this entire event with a match is, on paper, Cortland should love this match. It was a great opener, albeit a safe and boring one. MJF's heel work throughout this almost seems like elementary compared to what we've seen in AEW, so it's cool to see where he was and where he is now. Cross sold the shit out of his arm throughout this. He really put on for MJF through this. And I love that Excalibur mentioned that Cross was running the Indies for 20 years. Like, it felt good for him to get that platform and get talked about. Anyway, Cross wins with a shooting star press. It was fine. Wasn't offensive. I went gentleman's 3 on it. Thought it was great. Cortland.
I loved this match purely for my brother Jordan is a huge Matt Cross fan. We found Matt Cross on Backyard Wrestling PS2 game as M-Dog20.
yeah.
So I'm a huge Matt Cross fan. I've always enjoyed his work. Seeing him with what I know now is who I believe the greatest heel of the last 20 years in pro wrestling. And just seeing, like Mike said, how he has grown since then. Matt Cross is very giving in this match, which is awesome. They do really good work together. And I gave this match 3 1/4. And I gave that extra quarter for Jordan. Give him his flowers, because Jordan fucking loves Matt Cross, and it's super sick to see a Matt Cross match that he gets a good platform, not a lot of bad stuff in it. It does its job. It's a good opener. And I mean, any opener that gets like the Gentleman's 3 or around it, or an event that is not like a promotional company solely doing it, like, we're going to get into it, but like, All In is not your, like, this is literally the first time they're ever trying this. So like, it has its hiccups and problems, but their first match wasn't.
Yeah, it was good. Pat, what you got, man?
I went 3 stars as well. Gentleman's 3. It's a good opening match. Like you said, Mike, I agree. It is crazy to see MJF's growth and seeing like what we see now, or like what we know now from him, and seeing him then. Like, it's crazy. I think Cortland brought to my attention earlier that he's only 3 years into his career at this time.
At that time,
So,
yeah.
So like, or yeah, at that time. So it's like,
and he wrestles beyond his
It's
years
crazy.
in this match, and he's only gotten better since then.
yeah, it's really impressive. Matt Cross, most beautiful shooting star press you could fucking still
gorgeous.
see.
Yeah.
This is a really, really great match. Great opener. 3 stars, gentlemanly. Keep it chill.
Ethan, what'd you go on the match, sir?
I went 2.5 on the match. Real quick before I get to the match, I'm not gonna shit on it. I thought it was a good match. Excalibur, Don Callis, and Ian Riccaboni. Is that how you say his name? Riccaboni. That's the commentary team on this one. I just think it's sick that this was the start of Excalibur getting the chance to be put in front of a mainstream audience. I really have always thought he was a fucking phenomenal commentator, and seeing him get this chance, obviously we know it led to a lot more, but this was probably the biggest night of his life, at this point.
At the time, yeah.
So, but yeah, no, the match, it was a good opener. I like seeing MJF. It was just cool seeing the trajectory of MJF from here to now, because when I see MJF on this, as I'll detail later, it felt like one of the only AEW things on this show to me. Because a lot of this stuff didn't feel like AEW, because it wasn't AEW. It started that journey, but certain little things on here stick out, and I'm like, I totally see why Tony Khan plucked this person or this angle and stuck it back when they started AEW. And MJF's one of those things, obviously. I just love that he had that same music. Did he use that music on the Indies?
I have no idea. I know that he was a champion in CZW, which blows my
Yeah.
mind when I think about who MJF is and like what CZW was. Like,
yeah, it's like
be further apart.
Dude, I thought MJF just was. I don't know. I didn't know he was on the Indies, low key, because I didn't watch the Indies like that around this time. So when I heard that he was in CZW and then I saw him in PWG a couple times, I'm like, dude, this guy shouldn't. He's too good for this shit. You know what I mean? I'm just like, it's just weird.
I don't mean to abruptly switch, but one of the commentators kept calling him MJF. And
Excalibur
It was Excalibur.
That
He
shit
says it
pissing
like
me off.
He's like MJF, or as I prefer to call him, MJF.
That shit was making me mad.
There's only been a handful of things Excalibur's ever done that I haven't liked. That's one of them. And I'm so glad Tony Khan. I'm giving, Tony Khan may not have nothing to do with him stopping saying that, but anything good on this show, I'm giving Tony Khan credit for, because these boys, they took having friends too far on this show.
He's Booker of the Year when he wasn't even a Booker. It's
great. But and then M-Dog 20, man, he was never one of my favorites, but he's always been around, you know what I mean? And he deserves this moment. So it was cool just seeing him get to come out to an arena of 10K in America for the first, and probably who knows if he'll ever get it again. No, I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, you're 100%
Is he
right.
signed anywhere?
I don't know.
So.
I doubt it.
Did he get locked into an MLW contract that we don't know
He's
of?
controlling his narrative?
I fucking hope to God he's not.
M-Dog 20 is too smart for that, I would
Dude,
hope.
that would be Jordan's fucking luck.
Oh God.
He is locked into an MLW contract.
I called it.
I knew it. It's like, is signing an MLW contract basically making yourself disappear from the actual wrestling world for a couple years?
It's like signing
weird.
a 360.
It's like signing to
some people
WWE.
There's some
On
people
all
that
other
still
shows,
are
you're just
around.
considered dead.
Like Gino Medina, he still works independent shows, but like that's it. Like you don't really see anybody else. Like
Yeah.
it's weird. Anyway, what you went 2.5 on it, Ethan?
2.5, yeah. Good
All right.
opener. It's not your crazy opener you'd expect from one of these type of shows, but it's suffice.
It was safe for sure. Kazee, I feel like you're gonna shit on this whole event, bud. But go ahead, it's all you.
No, I was fair about all of it. There's some
You hit the high pitch for the line.
problematic fucking people on this card, so it's gonna be hard. But like, I think calling this match safe is probably the reason why I gave it a 2.5. Because like you do have like I like Matt Cross. Like I loved watching him in Lucha Underground. Like I was like, holy fuck, like this fucking dude can move. But like I think
What was his name?
Son of Havoc.
Son of
That's
Havoc.
Son.
And yeah, like it's impressive to see MJF at this time versus like he was just in a fucking dog collar match. Like what he becomes. And I think just because like I don't think he really does well working with someone that does all this crazy shit like Matt Cross does.
Yeah.
But like it works really well. Like they did good, but I just don't think stylistically it was the best matchup. So like it's fine. I think it was a good way to start it because there wasn't anything to be like, oh well, they just fucked up right off the bat. So like 2.5 and we're moving on.
Shout out to the Straight Edge King, Matt Cross. Sorry. I feel like the best match that we would have gotten on this was actually part of the pre-show. Before we get too far down the road, we had SoCal Uncensored, Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky versus the Briscoe brothers.
Yeah.
Which apparently was fucking excellent. So
I actually
Wasn't that on like WG in America?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
it was wild as fuck.
weird,
Yeah.
dude. So weird. I remember when that happened. I was like, WGN
You're like,
America?
on what?
What?
What shows used to come on that fucking network anyway?
ROH
buddy.
Oh,
Was it
no.
alright?
for a little bit. ROH has had like 17 different syndications.
That's true.
It was like it literally because I for a while, especially during this time, I really tried to watch ROH, and then it would be like, fucking,
bless you.
this month you're watching it on this channel, and in 2 months you're watching it on this one. And I'm just like, I fucking gave up. Like, it was so hard because at this time we really did have like, they had an amazing roster of fucking people, and granted, most of them,
good.
you know, fucked right off onto other things, but like, it was at least a good point. So it was like I wanted to try, but yeah, it was like every other month they were getting hopped around to something else.
Yeah. Ian Riccaboni says we're going backstage with Sean Mooney to interview Christopher Daniels, and that didn't happen. We got him interviewing Nick Aldis instead. Aldis says there's a reason there are 10,000 plus in the Sears Center tonight, and that reason is the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Nick Aldis with the longest run-on sentence of my life.
Dude, it's wild. He says it's the reason why Cody's here to etch his place in history, but to do that, he'll have to do it at the expense of the national treasure, and that's not something Aldis will be extending to Cody Rhodes. Then we get Stephen Amell with some dork that was on Arrow with him, taking on Christopher Daniels, who came out with Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian with special guest referee Cortland's favorite, Jerry Lynn. This was a really fun outing for Amell, who really didn't have much exposure outside of like the tag match in WWE. Daniels felt like the perfect guy to put in there with him, somebody that's safe, that knows what the fuck they're doing, and they had really good chemistry. Amell really showed out, like the coast to coast pop me big, thought it was great, and then the fucking diving shoulder block elbow drop thing through the table, and the table exploded on the outside. Looked great. It was an awesome visual. After that, you had like it looked like it was going to be a double countout, and Jerry Lynn said, nah, fuck a bunch of that. Slides to the outside, rolls him back inside, and then they keep going. Daniels picks up the victory after landing the best moonsault ever, and post-match, the two men shake hands. I have to tuck in the post-match stuff because Cortland will add it before I can.
Yes, you do.
I went 2 3/4, man. I thought it was good. Again, not offensive. I thought Stephen Amell, of all like the celebrity people, like he's done it well, man. I thought he did a really good job here, and Chris Daniels is a god. Ethan.
Yeah, I'm about on the same page as you. Just to preface some of this is my first time watching this show as a whole. The only matches I watched when this happened were the main event, Omega, Penta, and Cody and Aldis. So all the rest of the stuff's my first time looking at it. I really didn't know what to expect. What match did Stephen Amell have in WWE? Was it with Ziggler?
No, it was
Cody Rhodes, Stardust.
Stardust and somebody else versus him and Neville.
Because then
forget who
Yeah.
played.
there was that, and then he had like 1 or 2 matches in ROH.
Okay.
Well, he's only had like, honestly, I think up until this point, there's like 3, maybe 4 matches. I think he was a fucking Bullet Club member. Like we're all
Yeah.
over the fucking place.
Yeah.
Dude, I got the flag on my wall, and I didn't even know that shit. That's the thing. Like this 2018. I'm not even gonna go on.
It was Amell and Neville versus Stardust and King Barrett at SummerSlam.
Oh, Barrett. I haven't heard his name in a while.
they did the 2 arrows together.
Ah,
so you
okay,
got
that makes
yeah.
sense. But I went 3
That's
stars.
WWE
on this.
logic.
You went 3?
I went 3 flat. It was just a blast. I mean, Stephen Amell, and just to give him credit for coming in here, and if someone didn't know he wasn't a wrestler and didn't know he was an actor, I don't think they would know the difference. You know what I mean? And Daniels, I love his 2016 to 2018 run for whatever reason. Like, he just fucking had so many bangers. And not that this was one of the greatest matches he had during that period, but this is just another little time where he's just on his shit, and it's just so easy for him to fucking float Steven through this match. So
Yeah.
I
thought it
feel
was
like
fun.
his like he was able to stay relevant at like even longer than expected due to like him getting that Ring of Honor championship win when like 2015, right?
2017.
Yeah. And like just the feeling of that match and how important it was to him, like the whole locker room coming out, like that added years to his career and added so much more credibility. That's like, you won a world championship in this company in 2004, 2005, and for you to pull out it again in another company a decade later, it's crazy, man.
It totally rejuvenated his career. Not to jump off onto that tangent, but like I love that run that he had when he went back for that belt. Like, and I like Daniels back in the mid 2000s, but seeing him come back and go back, that's just amazing. But 3 stars on this match for me.
Kazee.
Who's next?
I gave it 2 3/4. I think this is probably one of the best celebrity matches, like probably ever. Like, and it probably gives credit to the fact that he is actually athletic and can do shit, but then also the fact that Christopher Daniels is fucking amazing. And like that coast to coast is fucking great.
It was great, man.
I forgot about it because like I watched this, I paid for it. I'd watched it night of, and I completely forgot that he did it. And I'm like, oh shit, like he fucking goes for it. And then we also have Jerry Lynn like getting ready to fight everyone because he's like, I'm getting a 3 count in this shit, and I won't hear anything otherwise. But it was good.
Kazee, is your favorite celebrity match of all time LT Bam Bam? I just need to know.
Clearly.
Okay.
That question.
Pat, what you got?
2 3/4. I could have gone 3 stars. I'm teetering between 2 and 3, honestly. Because it was a good match. It was a really good match, and like Kazee says, probably one of the best celebrity matches you'll probably ever see. You know what I'm saying? There's no love for Bad Bunny on this podcast, but it's all good. You know,
don't worry. There's 3 celebrity matches this year that I'm pretty sure aren't going to take this one. So
you're not too big on Knox. All right, John Knoxley.
Just not going to go down that road right now.
All right, that's all good. But yeah, I gave it 3 stars. Stephen Amell showed the fuck out, I believe. Christopher Daniels is a fucking king, and I feel like deserves his flowers every chance you could possibly get. Anytime he's mentioned, I'm never going to say a negative thing about him because he is one of the GOATs, man. I feel like he's very underrated. I don't think he's underrated. I just think he's understated.
Underappreciated.
Underappreciated is the term, yes, for sure. And he held this match together. Stephen Amell showed out though. I mean, the table spot was insane. The coast to coast was fucking beautiful. The fact that you see the little things like Christopher Daniels like adjusting to like the inexperience, but still making it look like he was fucking butter. Like it was just a great match. You had the moonsault. Oh yeah. Like the moonsault, for example, when he missed the moonsault, it was only because Stephen Amell was out of place, but he didn't make it look like it was his fault. He just kept it moving, kept it going. I think it was fucking beautiful work from both men.
I like it. Yeah, Cortland.
I went 3 stars. I enjoyed it. I like the urgency from Amell. Like Ethan said, you wouldn't tell that he's not a pro wrestler. I have written down that this doesn't feel like a celebrity wrestling. It feels like a wrestler who became a celebrity. You know what I mean? And like if you've watched the show Heels, like you can tell like he's actually wrestling in this show. He's been wrestling and training for a while. And I believe he's like trained with CM Punk and like a whole list of fucking people he's trained with. So yeah, man, I love to see it. Hopefully we get him back into the ring sooner than later because you're great at it. I think there's little stuff in it like just like Daniels kicking out of like a near fall and him immediately getting up and kicking him and going to the next spot. Not him like pandering to the crowd or like him looking confused, like what's the next spot. Like he knew what he was doing next. He knew how to get to it. And he made it look like every single move was important because it was. So for that is definitely 3 stars. I enjoyed it. Kept me entertained.
I like it. Stephen Amell, I do believe, was the guy that got he was working with CM Punk in ring to get Punk ready for his re-debut. Like, for his comeback. So shout out to him.
Yeah.
We have Tennille Dashwood and Mandy Leone joining the broadcast team as Don Callis bounces out to go be with Kenny Omega in the back before his match.
I just got a text. I got to be with Kenny.
He was a dork even on this, man, but it's endearing how much of a dork he is, you know?
It's Cyrus the Virus, dude.
He's a god, man.
The bigger dork of this commentary team was fucking Ian Riccoboni, though.
Oh,
He's a
my
big
God.
dork, but I love him, man. I love him.
That man plugged Cracker Barrel 17 times. He just kept being like, Cracker Barrel did this for us.
Dude, it's a mess. Casey, this is coming to you right after I read my shit, so I'm really glad that you get this one. We have Tessa Blanchard versus Madison Rayne versus Chelsea Green versus Britt Baker in a 4-corner survival match. Britt Baker coming out of Adam Cole's theme is fucking good shit, y'all. It's good shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of Baker, she, again, much like MJF, seeing where she's at now compared to where she was, super fucking cool. Probably my favorite spot of the match was her like triple sling blade. I just thought it was done really well and it looked awesome. And the crowd was going wild for it, and commentary put her over for it. I thought it was good. Tessa Blanchard was very obviously like the most seasoned wrestler in this match and like the most confident in her work. I see Casey getting more and more angry as I talk about this. It just felt like everything that she did was important and like would have fucked somebody up. So it's too bad she's an actual dog shit human being.
The most unseasoned person.
Like a literal fucking menace. Chelsea Green really surprised me on this, man. I don't think I'm too well versed in her stuff before like this post WWE Cardona run she's doing through the indies. So it was super cool to see her have really cool moments, and she worked her ass off in this. I thought it was great. Blanchard picks up the win after a hammerlock DDT that was a breakup that wasn't a breakup. It was a little bit messy at the end. Post-match, the 4 women hug in the ring. I didn't find this necessarily offensive. 2 3/4. I thought it was fine. Casey, what you got for me?
The first thing I have just from looking at like watching this match is how fucking aggressively stiff Blanchard is.
That is my first
She
note.
beats the
That's
shit.
why everything looks important, is because she's trying to hurt them.
There's a couple.
That's very fair. I literally have.
She's so stiff.
She worked really tightly, is what I have on here.
Boy, like fucking tiger, Mike.
So
Like,
here's the deal, dude. If I have to see her do that fucking thing again, I will unalive myself.
There's one point in time I legitimately thought she knocked out Madison Rayne. Like it scared the fuck out of me. I was like, Jesus Christ! Like it was a little alarming.
all of her elbows were way, way too fucking stiff.
I will say, for it being like a 4 corners women match, the timing of everything is done really well.
Yep.
Like, I'm not saying that they can't do. I'm not trying to get into anything on that. I'm just like, everything was fucking just on point. Everyone knew where they needed to go. I feel like fucking even though Tessa might have looked like the most seasoned person, I think a lot of the flowers need to go to Chelsea Green. I think she's the one that kept a lot of it together. She was in almost all of the main spots. She hits the nastiest fucking unprettier though.
Oh my god, I forgot to even write that down. It was like a jumping spike.
She goes for it, she sets it up, she jumps up and then drives it. I forgot that she did it at this time. She did it twice. And I was like, good lord, this is I was like, I'm surprised no one does it, but also I can kind of understand why, because you're kind of nosediving someone's head right into the mat. My last note of this match is that it's a shame that an asshole won, because like it is a really good match. Like I really love it for the women's match. I gave it 2 3/4, but like if you just get rid of the one, just take her out, we would have probably just gold.
Before I pass it to Cortland, I wanted to make mention of this. Madison Rain was great through this. The only note that I had that I didn't even write down, I was like, oh, Madison Rain, I wonder what else she's done. Like, just, again, not well versed in it. Looked it up. She's married to Josh Matthews, so, like, fuck that guy. Anyway, Cortland.
Shit, you learn.
Oh, y'all didn't know that?
Fuck no, I didn't
I
know
knew
that.
that.
He's a fucking dork.
It really is.
I knew, unfortunately. It's only because he blocked me on Twitter back in the day. So
Yeah,
I
so
had to do a
fuck
little
Michael Cole
research.
for blocking me. Fuck Josh Matthews for blocking Ethan. Soft-ass motherfuckers. Cortland, it's all
Admittedly,
you.
though, I did used to hate tweet Josh Matthews when I was like 18. So.
What the fuck?
I admit, I used to tweet him every night on Impact and be like, God damn, you fucking suck. Just stupid
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
Stupid shit, man.
I mean, but
All right,
was it
Cortland.
true, though?
Floor is yours, sir.
This is hard for me, man. Like, I enjoyed this match because I do think Chelsea Green is the glue to this match. It's great to see the trajectory of what we know about Britt Baker now. It feels like watching her, you're like, man, she's gonna be a star. Like, you could feel it. And the crowd felt it too. The crowd was really behind this match, which I feel like is really what gave me the rating I gave it. I gave it 3 1/4.
Oh, wow.
I think that everyone hit their cues right where they needed to be. I do wish that the finish was a little better, but I do like the idea of them trying to save the finisher, or like not the finisher, but the finish. Like them diving for it, but them not getting there. I think their timing was just, one of them was just too off.
Just too
So
fast.
the other tried to jump
little
with
too
her,
early.
you know?
Yeah.
So they both jumped early, but I mean, overall, I think it was a hell of a showcase for indie women's wrestling, especially when at this time you look at the other channel and there's only 3 women that are even going above mid card in other companies on television. They're not getting this platform or even half the amount of time. So it's really cool to see.
I love it. Pat.
Okay. I was fully prepared to give this match 3.5 stars.
And then
And I mean, and it deserves 3.5
Just do it,
stars
bud.
in my
Who
opinion.
gives a fuck? It's your ratings.
I'm not gonna do that. I was fully prepared to. It's a good match. It's a great match. It's a great showcase of women's wrestling, as you guys have said. Chelsea Green is a fucking queen in this match. Britt Baker just showed you who the fuck she was gonna be in the next few years in this match. You know, Madison Rain had some good spots. Tessa Blanchard was in the match as well, and and look. Look, Tessa,
I was thinking about calling her Tully's daughter,
Yeah,
but I just didn't.
yeah, Tessa was in the match as well, and she had good. She was there.
Flurries.
She was doing some stuff that looked good. You know, I was thinking that one spot where Sean was landing on her head, if only, you know. But like,
Holy shit.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, man. No.
Oh.
Add her to the list. Add her to the list.
Stand by.
To the spike.
Stand by logo.
Casey is making a note. I could literally see it.
I hate my
Dude, don't
job.
make a note, man. Tessa's
I mean,
a fucking.
like I said, I was fully prepared to match 3.5 stars, and then the ending happened, and it's not necessarily Tessa winning. It's Tessa winning and the way it happened. Like, it just kind of fucked me. So I dropped it down to like 2 3/4. If she wasn't in the match, you know, it could have been a 5-star match. Who fucking knows? But who knows?
Oh,
You know?
God. All right, Ethan. Here we go, bud. I'm on board with you. Let's get it done. Figure it out.
Why'd
Here
you
we
save
go.
me for last?
Oh, bud, because I know I do this as much as I can to give you the floor when everybody said their piece, and I know you feel strongly about one person or another, and I know what's coming. So go ahead, bud. Let it loose, you southern psycho son of a bitch.
Well, I went 3 stars on the match because it's just fine. You know what I mean? I'm not going to compliment anything Tessa Blanchard does because fuck Tessa Blanchard. I mean, I think, you know, I'm going to focus more so on the fact that, you know, when she did get outed for all the shit she had done, I love that a lot of women's wrestlers, like, I don't know if y'all remember, but like Rebel was someone who spoke out. A lot of different, you know, known names now were the ones being like, nah, this girl's really fucked up. Like, she treated the other girls like shit. She said racist shit. She spit at people in Japan. Just, you know, I feel like it came from like I don't know. I think she just thinks she's hot shit. I don't know, but it just I don't want to focus on what she did. I want to focus more so on what this match was for the women in independent wrestling and what would become AEW and what the women speaking out against her was for women's wrestling. Because I think it's sick that, they realize, we can make a difference with this opportunity we've been given. And in 2020, they were like, we don't need that. That's going to just hold us back. Having somebody around here doing nothing but that's just bringing it down.
Well, she had a fucking rocket strapped to her.
Yeah.
So you can only imagine that if everyone just harbored the shit that she was doing, where she could have ended up.
And it's just, think about how hard it was for them to speak out against her being Tully's daughter.
I mean, dude,
you know what I'm saying?
It had to happen for the pure fact that I know women don't want to. They saw what Mae Young and Fabulous Moolah did to a lot of women's wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it came a time where a lot of that stuff was starting to come to light. Like people had spoken out about their time in Mexico. Women have spoken out about their time in Japan. Because so many women in pro wrestling have dealt with mental health issues, and it's because of what's been projected on them in the industry. So it's super fucking important for women to feel the strength to call out somebody, even if it's somebody that is supposed to be standing beside them and leading this charge. If you want a revolution, make sure the person that you want to be the forefront of that revolution represent everyone and not just themselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And just the courage it takes to stand up for someone whose dad is a fucking legend. You know what I mean? And
stepdad is also, because it's Magnum TA's their fucking stepdad. So she has two legends backing her. So it's fucking really hard to be like, your daughter's a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to do that rather than just shit on Tessa this whole match, because we all know how terrible of a person she is. But I think this match was meant to elevate the women and show the importance of what the women wrestling is in independent wrestling and what would become in AEW, rather than fucking focus on her ass. Chelsea,
you think
Green
she's going to control your narrative?
They probably got a spot for her, I'll tell you that.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me.
Dude, I'll let you spit on anyone you want. We got a room just for spitting.
Got Tessa Blanchard versus Sexy Star. That's going to be the control your narrative women's match.
Ethan, continue, please. Jesus Christ.
Chelsea Green, though, I had never seen any of her work until the last year. So seeing her here doing this thing was cool. And Madison Rayne, I mean, I've watched her in TNA for a long time, so good on her for getting this spot too. 3 stars flat from me. It was a little clunky here or there, but they fucking put in the effort, and I respect 3 of these women. So
yeah. Oh man, here we go. All right, we go immediately to the Nick Aldis, Cody Rhodes.
Who are you gonna pitch this to, Mike?
You.
Oh no.
Got that Uno reverse card just right back to you, dog.
We get Nick Aldis with Jeff Jarrett, Tim Storm, and Sean Daivari coming out. He's the champion versus Cody Rhodes, your challenger, coming out with DDP, Tommy Dreamer, and Glacier, and Cody Rhodes' brother-in-law. Why the fuck is he there?
Why did we need 2 Goldberg-length entrances with Entourage?
Brother, it's a big moment. And the first note that I have, this is for the NWA World Heavyweight
That's my fucking response to this match.
That's what I feel.
Just let me fucking fuck. God, Kazee.
I yawned.
This felt like this was the match on the card. It felt like the whole card was really built around this, which at the time, Cody was like, I'm the guy, right? And so Aldis had been on a tear in NWA. And Cody was really getting his footing post WWE, and this felt like the breakout moment for him, like where he was going to be like a superstar and like do his shit. I really enjoyed the match when I watched it live, man. Like I remember back in 2018, I was like, this fucking rocked. But now watching it in 2022, I'm like, oh, this is the exact same self-indulgent Cody Rhodes bullshit that we deal with every week on AEW.
We just weren't used to it yet.
That's exactly it, man. Aldis worked heel throughout this, which he wasn't doing in NWA at the time, and he did it really well. Cody got to bleeding like pretty well pretty quickly, and he was garnering sympathy pretty well.
Terrible job doing that blade.
He gets to bleeding quickly, but getting him to actually bleed takes like 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
He has to do it twice.
Listen, I'm not trying to shit on anybody here. I'm gonna say my opinion. Nick Aldis bores the fuck out of me.
Yes.
He does nothing for me. He's like lukewarm water. It's just forgettable. Cody Rhodes, okay. I didn't write any spots down about this match, man. I just have Cody sitting down on the sunset flip attempt for the pinfall, and the crowd goes fucking bonkers. It didn't offend me, but it wasn't good. 2.5 stars. It was fine. Ethan.
Okay.
I'm hurting Cortland's feelings. I can tell I'm hurting Cortland's feelings.
You should save Ethan.
No.
Let Ethan fucking
Ethan's about to be fired up. He's had this whole time that I've spoken to get fired up, and he started to because he was talking over me at the same. He was like reacting to what I was saying, and that means Ethan's got some good shit. Ethan, you're on deck. Ethan, you're in gorilla position. Ethan, your entrance is hitting. It's your go.
So I don't know quite where to start with this whole charade. My first thought is this.
You mean the Black Parade?
My first thought, I guess, that I'll start with is, yes, Nick Aldis. I've had people left and right since 2012 telling me, dude, I love Magnus. Check out Magnus. Dude, Magnus is good shit. Then he goes to NWA, Nick Aldis, dude, Nick Aldis. And I'm just like, man, I ain't never seen that. That man's never inspired me to feel any sort of emotion in my life. And so just know on that. No disrespect to Nick. I'm sure him and Mickey are doing great. So respect to them for that.
Hardcore country.
God,
I mean,
damn,
hey,
I was about to
he's a
say it.
hardcore dude. No, he's got a hardcore country girl for his hardcore English. So, my thing here with this is, when I watched this initially, I wasn't over the moon about it because I was on the fuck Nick Aldis train for 6 years at this point. But I was also newly fresh to the rejuvenated Cody train. I will admit, I liked Cody at this point when this happened.
Everybody did,
Come
man.
on, there's not a single fucker that
Everyone was on his
didn't.
side.
Exactly. So my thing with it is, because he started showing up on the indies in Japan and I thought it was forced. But then when he started doing this whole thing and sparking this movement, you get invested in this guy, right? And then you get invested even more because this match is so important to him because of his dad. And we all love Dusty. And, like, Cody never got his due in WWE, so you're invested, right? And so you watch this in 2018 when it was happening, you think this is fucking great. Because it's like, damn, I've never seen Cody do this type of shit. He's never been treated like a star, you know, and he played that role well. But here's where the ship fucking sinks. And this is why Cody's not in AEW anymore. Because this Cody Rhodes we saw September 1st, 2018, it's the same exact to a T. No development, no growth, no character depth. It's the same one we saw before he left AEW. There's been nothing, not saying he needed to turn heel, but you need to read the room. Huh?
Dude, what do you mean, man? He had a match with
something.
Yeah, dude. What do you mean, though? He had a match against Shaq. I mean, come on now. God bless. He had Snoop Dogg do the entrance for him.
It's just
He had Snoop Dogg do the entrance for him, bud.
So my biggest takeaway from this was, in its time, in its moment, it was good. But looking back, I'm not going to say it was good because we know where this led to. You know what I mean? And we know that Cody didn't learn or really even, you know, take anything away from getting his big shot to do all this. He just was like, oh shit, I can be the fucking crazy hero in peril now. I can be the good guy now. Everyone loves it. I'm going to run it in the fucking ground because I love feeling this way. And that does nothing for me. So yeah. Also, what move sent him to the outside before that blade job? It was something minimal, right?
Yeah, the nigga fell out the ring, bro.
He slides out of the ring. He slides out, and then like all this like jumps from like the top turnbuckle, I think, and like elbows him in the forehead, and then he fucking army crawls his ass underneath the timekeeper's table, and is just like fucking
Yeah, and then when he gets up, he like fucking shoves the table like
He shoves
Like,
the table
oh,
like he
man.
wasn't there.
chill the fuck
He
out.
shoves DDP out of the way, or DDP gets shoved out of the way. He's not bleeding, so he has to get knocked back down to go back under the timekeeper's table to re-blade himself, and then he comes up and he's fucking just Triple H gushing blood.
It's just like
You got blade
I'm
down.
just so like when you think about how Cody went in AEW, like to me the lesson of this show, and I missed it in the last match because I wanted to mention it. You know, I feel like because I'm assuming Tony Khan was watching this show, and
He was there, wasn't
that's
he?
why he wanted to do AEW, huh?
They met together, I thought.
Like he was like he's like, either in the crowd or like he was definitely there. Like this was
So
was definitely
I feel like
the seats.
once again, with the women's match, I feel like he saw Britt, and then the other ones he was like, all right, I don't think they're meant for what I got going on. And just like with this match, it's like I feel like if it was up to him, Cody may not have ever really been a part of AEW because this, it goes to show Cody and AEW was always not Cody and AEW. It was like Cody's little universe. And then you had AEW here. And even this early on, this was just such an odd fucking match. And, I don't even know if I can say it's good or bad. I just feel like it is a true testament to where we ended up today. So I'm going to give it 3 stars. What's wrong, Pat? Where you at, buddy? I ain't never seen you argue me.
I don't think
man.
I've seen Cortland be disappointed at you like he just was. Listen, man, Cortland's not even been a dad for a year. That's the most disappointed dad look I have ever seen on that man's face, and I've known him for over a decade. That was stunning. He hit a... I was like, oh my God!
Dude, can I go?
Yeah, man, 3 stars. Anything else that you wanted to add there, Ethan?
No. It's just this match just has left me torn. There's so much to process here. It's just a weirdo fucking fest. I don't know, man. It's just a weird. You got a dog in the ring, Tommy Dreamer, Sean Daivari. What do any of these fuckers have to do with you, bruh? Anyway.
Bruh.
Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead, Pat.
Look. All right, I'm gonna keep this a whole 1,000, bro.
whole buck.
Any person that listens to this podcast, I'm gonna just say, bro, if you don't know, I have the least amount of wrestling knowledge out of everybody in this podcast right now. So my opinions are strictly from a more than casual watcher, but big fan of wrestling. Regardless, what the fuck ever. If you're listening to me right now, this match was fucking dog shit. Like, it wasn't good at all. I don't give a fuck. Like, when anybody tells me it was not a good match, I'll say this as well. When everybody was on Twitter talking shit about Cody and everybody was hating on Cody doing all this shit for the past 2 years, my ass was like, I don't get it. Why does everybody hate Cody Rhodes, man? He gave everybody what they wanted. He was part of the deals, he was the homie, he was the liberator, whatever the fuck he was going by, whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck. Listen.
He ended racism, right?
He ended racism. He had the whatever.
Fuck off.
Look, listen.
He got Tessa fired.
Yo.
That's why Brandy came out twice.
Shut up. Oh my God.
Go ahead.
Look, yeah, as I was saying, I didn't understand the Cody Rhodes hate. 2 seconds into this intro, I got it instantly, bro. Like I was like, yo, I hate this motherfucker. He walks out. First of all, Tommy Dreamer?
Yes.
He walks out with Tommy Dreamer's old fucking pool hall looking bitch ass, and I'm like, you see this? I've never wanted to see somebody trip down a flight of stairs so like before in my life. And DDP's there, and I'm like, cool, DDP's there. But then Pharaoh the dog, I'm like, oh my God, who is this nigga? Like, why?
Bro, you did not say anything about Georgia legend Glacier, and that's upsetting.
Bro. Dude, we didn't ask for any of this shit. Yo, and check this out. This right here shows me that before AEW was even a thought, Cody knew what he wanted, and that was right to the top. so he could have his dog famous. Come on, dude. Brandy getting her own entrance.
Dude, it's just like the match itself, bro. What the fuck ever. Like, Nick Aldis, I'm not the biggest fan, but honestly, it was the only cool thing about the match. I didn't like watching Cody fucking crawl into his wife trying to, oh, babe, I'm hurt. Like, God, I couldn't stand it. I was so glad when this match was over. When he hit the crossroads, probably 5-8 minutes into the match, and it was a 2 count, I literally walked out the room because I was so fucking mad.
There's still more of this shit.
I'm done. I have nothing else to say.
What'd you give it though?
2 stars.
Okay, gotcha.
Respect.
Yeah.
I don't want to know Cortland's just yet. Casey, let's go to you first. Oh man.
Make me a plate, Casey.
Okay.
Make me a plate.
I think I figured it out finally.
Oh.
No.
I think I figured out why everyone hates Cody.
Oh, we all did, buddy.
So
Because he fucking
Cody
sucks.
spent all of his developmental years in the WWE, and who was the one person on top the whole time he was there?
John Cena. He's
John
a mimic of John Cena.
fucking Cena. And
His
at
red, white,
first,
blue is fucking Fruit Loops colors.
and at first, getting the developing John Cena Rhodes on the indies, you're just happy he's free and he's happy. But then as soon as AEW starts, and you just see it just keeps going. We get the fucking TV show. We get the fucking second TV show. We get fucking, I'm in all these I'm the only one that comes through the fucking center of the entrance ramp. He just became everything that we all fucking hate, which is John Cena.
Yeah.
That
is word for word what I was going to say about Cody Rhodes.
I'm sorry.
winning.
I'm sorry I took it from you.
No, go ahehave
I'm
glad that you said it, not me.
It was just hearing Ethan talk about it. It clicked. I'm like, that's what I've been missing. I was like, what have I been trying to compare him to? And it was right in front of me the whole time, but I couldn't see him. The match is fine. Fucking, I'm surprised no one commented on Nick Aldis dropping an elbow on fucking Brandy. It made me laugh.
I was going to get to that.
Dude,
bro.
how could we notice that with all these theatrics Cody had
Listen,
going on, man? He was
That
almost
shit
dead,
was
dude.
so bad, and then they zoomed in on it and put it into slow-mo.
Yo, why she sound like that? You saw the way she sold that elbow.
Like, lifted herself up about a whole solid second after it. Like, threw one arm in there. Like, it was fucking horrendous.
I would have appreciated the Devon shake afterwards.
Vicky Guerrero's doing that.
I mean, there's not much else I can really fucking say about this match that hasn't already been said. It was, I think, one of those matches going into it when I first watched it on pay-per-view that I was like, this actually might be good. And it was like, okay, like, yeah, that was fine. I felt like there was too much extra shit. Ironically enough, Tommy Dreamer is involved, so it makes sense booking wise. But like 2.5.
Hell yeah.
I don't know where you're going. I don't know what you're gonna say, and I think that's the most compelling part of me passing this off to you right now, is that I genuinely don't have a read on it. So please, sir, the floor is officially yours.
Can I just ask one favor of you?
Oh god.
It's not yours.
Yeah. Don't make me be the highest rating on this match.
Too late.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, bud. You are gonna be
Get fucked.
because I'm probably gonna be the lowest. I gave this a 1 3/4.
Cortland just went like this. Cortland hit the Dave Batista.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Where's Jeff Hardy to save the day?
Yeah, I wanted it to be higher. Okay, I'm not one of those guys that hates Nick Aldis. I do think that a lot of his matches can be boring. He's not exactly the guy that everyone wants. Does he fit NWA wrestling? Yes. 110%. You put that guy on a 10x10. You put the NWA championship on him, he looks like the NWA champion. Okay? I'm not going to argue. Out of 10 of his matches, guarantee you 6 of them are going to put you to sleep. Okay? That's just a fact.
It's one of them 6.
It's just one of those things. Cody in this match is like y'all said. It's the same shit that we've just seen over and over and over again. I think that having all these random-ass people to be involved in this just feels like I just watched another Tommy Dreamer match, but John Cena was kind of in it. And then, like, you just get the only really cool shit that came from this match was DDP hitting a diamond cutter that the crowd loved. And then you have David Daivari.
He's just there.
Daivari's there.
He's
I don't really know what he does, but I was super glad to see him.
He's the one that shoves the shit out of DDP.
He shoved DDP.
Yeah, he shoves the fuck out of him,
yeah.
and then he's the one.
So, I love that moment. However, if this is the last time I ever watch this match, it'd be too soon. I think that this match is what made me realize I didn't give a fuck for Cody. In the long run, I want to be a Cody fan. I rode for Cody really hard during the Ring of Honor, My Ring, Kiss the Ring. I loved that shit a lot. I thought it was really good work. It's just what we have seen now is like what Kazee said. I feel like he's trying to follow in the trajectory of like a John Cena, a Batista, a The Rock, like all these people that he's just never going to amount to. And I feel like Cody's biggest problem, and this is straight from the heart, is because he knows that he can't fill his brother's shoes and he knows he can't fill his dad's shoes. So he overly tries to do all the extra shit coming out of the center of the ring, doing this, trying to do this flashy thing that I've never done. I'm going to do this. But like at the end of the day, dude, how many fucking times do you have to fuck up a scoop slam for me to determine that Dustin Rhodes does it better? How many times do I have to see you do some type of fucking sling shot kick thingy that everyone else in the indies has done way before you decided to show up, and you did it 3 times in this match and none of them fucking connected? Stop doing it. If 2 of them were supposed to work and none of them caught, give it up. You know? Like, go ahead, Kazee. Go ahead.
Please tell me you called that caught.
No, I don't ever want to be scolded by you if I was your child. That shit hurt my feelings.
I just want to throw in that you misspoke and you said that Cody comes from the middle of the ring, and all I could think about was him ripping it open with like a full-on another neck tattoo.
It's the cane when he pulls people back.
The thing about it is, the odds are Cody has dreamed of doing just that.
Oh my god!
Logistically, it just doesn't work, pal. But we tried.
Imagine. In the deleted scenes of Roads to the Top, I guarantee you he's been to Brandy. I had this dream last night. I'm gonna come out through the fucking ring.
He's got a paper and he's like, "You see, we got the W here, and then it goes in, and then I come out, and then it closes up underneath."
Dude, it's like a weird glass pod, like a snow globe, and then you hear wrestling has more than one greatest nightmare.
How many bad ideas from Cody do you think Tony has cut down?
That's why he left all of them.
He's like, you know who would love this shit? Vince. Vince would be like, fuck yeah, I'll check off on it, buddy.
Hey, man, I genuinely hope that Cody goes back to WWE. I think that you fuck it, man. You deserve to be there. If at the end of the day, you've said it yourself, that company has only shit on the roads decades. They put your dad in fucking polka dots. They put your brother in gold paint. He's never been the same since. They put you in gold fucking paint until you ran away. And they eventually give you your name back after years of you fighting. And you think they're just going to let you fucking walk back in there? They gave you your last name because you're not coming back as Cody Rhodes. You're going right back to Stardust. They gave up that name because they don't give a fuck about it. Because it doesn't hold weight. You made your weight weightless.
Lord have
pound ass boy.
I'm so glad you saved him for last.
Yes.
I'm sorry, man. This shit, because this match is meant to be important, and it feels important. That's why the crowd cares. This finish is fucking dog shit. It is not good. But at the end
Dude,
of the
the
day,
crowd went
everyone's clapping
fucking
because it's a
wild.
legacy.
That's
On
like the
paper.
weird part because
Here's the thing.
all those motherfuckers jumped up and cheered for him.
Because it's a legacy thing, man. You want it to happen. It's the same thing as Undertaker at WrestleMania. It doesn't fucking matter if the botch for his 20th win would have been a botch or it would have been shit. People would have cheered for the pure fact it was a 3 count and the streak didn't end. People are going to be happy no matter what because another Rhodes is holding the NWA Championship on 70th anniversary. That's what matters. They don't care about the match itself. They care about the legacy that is being left for a company that a lot of people cared about. But like, if I'm NWA, I want Cody Rhodes in my company. It's a legacy name, you know? That's the last name that put this company, this belt, this lineage over. But like, what does it truly benefit you other than 2 1/4-star matches every fucking week on Grapple? Like,
All right.
sorry, we're moving on.
Thank goodness. We need to move on from Cody
It's not
Rhodes.
good. Don't go
It's-
back.
It's
That's
bad.
why this whole shit's free on YouTube. Sorry.
We're gonna put a muzzle on that cord.
Joey Janela with Penelope Ford versus Hangman Adam Page is your next match. It's a Chicago street fight. It was really weird seeing a lackluster reaction for Adam Page, considering like what he gets now. Like he gets like a hero's welcome every
Because
time
he was
comes
the
out.
unwanted child of the Bullet Club.
He was.
Everyone
He for real
fucking
was.
hated him.
People wanted Chase Owens more than you wanted Hangman Adam Page. That cornball piece of dog shit. The match would have been great if it went half the time that it did. It literally was a 20-minute match of them beating the shit out of each other. It was fucking funny as fuck. The powerbomb off the stage where Joey Janela about dies, no big deal, casual. Thought it was fucking great. I thought those spots were fucking dumb and awesome, and I loved it. But 20 minutes? Dog, come the fuck on. Come on now. Hangman hits
Bad
the Deadeye,
habits.
which was called the Rite of Passage at the time, off of a ladder through a table, pinning Janela for the victory. It was whatever, man. It was 3 stars. Ethan, what'd you go?
3 stars as well. I'm not going to harp on any of it too much. It went too long. And I don't want to say, to go back to my tried and true, that Tony Khan, he did pluck Hangman, obviously, but I don't want to say he shouldn't have plucked Janela. But I think they should have totally rerouted how they did him, because Janela ain't meant for these 20-minute pay-per-view matches, man. You know what I mean? He has shit that he can do, and I think he could be used better in AEW than he is, but I just, for some reason, they just totally feel like misread how they should be using him. And yeah, but for the spots, 3 stars. It ain't nothing more than that, though. And one other thing to mention is like, just seeing Hangman come into his own, because he just got back from the G1 after this, where he faced Okada, Suzuki, everybody huge in Japan. And I forgot about it until Excalibur mentioned it on here, and I'm like, man, I need to rewatch that shit, because I watched that whole G1 that he did, but now I'm sitting here thinking, damn, like the Hangman we know now, I want to go back and watch those matches.
And just
but,
see.
yeah.
Real quick note, Joey Janela today did an interview with Denise Salcido and said that he is not re-signing with AEW.
I saw that.
Good.
Just
Good. I mean,
why? Why would he? Casey.
This has Joey Janela booking all over it, and not even like in a negative way, but like it's
All the way to the barrel.
It's like
Cracker Barrel.
the Cracker Barrel.
Crackers fucking with a barrel.
God. And yeah, I think like if it was a 10, 12-minute match, Joey Janela booking, solid. 20, Joey literally almost dies. Like that, whoever was like, I can yeet you down over these stairs onto a table.
Oh, no problem.
grossly miscalculated how far of a drop that was. Holy shit. I feel like the biggest issue is like, I know for the good amount of people there and a good amount of people watching it, we're watching Being the Elite religiously.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of spots that if you were not watching Being the Elite, you have no fucking idea what they're referencing at all.
God.
Fuck.
Like,
I forgot to mention something I wanted to mention here, not to interrupt you.
by all means.
Joey Ryan, right?
Stop, bro. We're not there yet. Just give me a minute. I'll get there afterwards.
My bad. They just had his honky ass in a U-porn shirt covered in blood before the match even started, so I figured it was worth a mention.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm going to speed
They
this up.
just had his honky ass in a U-porn short covered in blood before the match even started, so I thought it was worth the mention.
I forgot where it is in the match, but Joey Janela does a really long run, and it's one of the goofiest fucking runs I've ever seen in my entire life.
It's like one of my first notes. It says, does Joey Janela have the ugliest run in professional wrestling?
It is bad.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's like
it is
SmackDown
bad.
versus Raw. Fucking
Yeah, it.
Hey, Pat, can you run like that in Texas for me?
I'm giving it 2.5. I'm giving it 2.5 because they at least tried, but yeah, it just went on too long. It's just.
Oh, fuck. Pat, let's go to you, bud.
I gave it 3 stars. I agree. It definitely was too fucking long, but I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what I was watching. I'm gonna say something, and hopefully, like, this doesn't offend the person I'm talking about. But Joey Janela, one of the funniest things about Joey Janela is like his like walk when he like wrestles and shit. When he's like tired, you can see he has like this super feminine walk, like where he's just like fucking just like moving around like. And I fucking love that because I feel like he does that shit on purpose. Because just to go with the whole like,
it's like an extra cell.
Yeah,
it's just like a part of him.
Exactly.
Now.
Like I don't know what's going on in that man's personal life.
Just think, in Dallas, you're gonna see him in X-Pac.
Oh my! I didn't even think about that.
Oh God, I'm so excited to watch.
You ready for
it on
35
television.
minutes of fucking Joey Janela, bud? Because we're getting a long one that night. The motherfucker's gonna have an hour booked out. He's gonna be like, "Yup, Blue Meanie comes out for no fucking reason." Then we're gonna have Kevin Nash there. We're gonna have all the old fucking DX guys, Road Dogg, Billy
Jarrett.
Gunn. All of them are coming in. They're going to beat the fuck out of me. Then I'm just going to have Penelope Ford show up, beat the fuck out of them. I'm going to have all the dudes from fucking JCW come out. It's going to be a war against DX. They're going to have fucking Mini Tank. Then you're going to have fucking all the JCW guys beating the fuck out of those old fucks. It's just going to be an overbooking piece of dog shit, and we're going to fucking be there to witness it, bud.
Let me try.
Mike, you're turning into Teddy Hart, buddy.
You want to talk about my cats, bud?
I just now I'm picturing fucking Blue Meanie and Shotzi's tank. Just coming out to the
God.
You know what would make it all better? If in the middle of all this happening, Ninja Mac just walks and falls off of the top of the balcony.
And just finds the closest table, just takes a little shoulder dive, rolls it out.
Dude, we should be able to book a match one day. Just a clusterfuck of us all throwing in a spot or two. I would just have PCO fall off a building.
Can we have like PCO and Ninja Mac fall from the same place at the same time
and see who touches first?
Who hits first?
Listen,
that's the winner of the match.
We do have Speedball Mike Bailey versus PCO happening soon. So it's in
buddy,
the
we're
realm,
gonna be there for
it's
that.
in the realm of possibilities.
Fucked up. I want them to be at the top of whatever venue this is, and I hope that they have rafters. And PCO just takes a crazy bump through light tubes and tables alike, and he just gets right back up like the fucking nutcase he is.
I just hope God shows up for no reason, just to throw him off of the.
I want Mike Bailey to do a springboard kick to PCO's face as he's on the top rope and take a bump straight to the outside. No table, just to the outside. I want PCO to take years off of his life for my entertainment in Dallas, Texas. That's what I want.
Mike, here's what I want.
No. We're getting too far off. We're getting too far off.
We're going to wrap it right here. Open Over Podcast listeners. While we're in Dallas, Texas, I'm going to do my best for myself, Pat, and Mike to get a picture with PCO. If he's still alive.
Yes, it will be our new. We'll just put it out once a week.
Carlin, what the fuck did you go on this?
I gave this 3 flat. I I really enjoyed Penelope Ford in this match. I think that her timing was really cool. She looked like a star. It looked like they put her over as one here. It's really cool seeing Paige sell for it. The scariest spot of this match by far is the table spot.
The power bomb, right?
On the Cracker Barrel.
No, like from the rampway, catwalk, whatever. Because they set up 2 tables. You know, I was to see during the replay that like Hangman could have taken an extra step, but like he would never know that he could. Like
he can't see.
So like this spot's just crazy, man.
Do you imagine he missed the step?
Oh
yeah,
because one too far.
Like what?
Yeah, dude, it could have been so bad. So like considering what could have happened, is really cool, and for him to do the ladder spot to the table in the end for your finish, feels big, feels cool. The crowd loved it. So I ate it up. Like you said, it doesn't need to be 20 minutes long. He could have done it in 12, 13 minutes, and the crowd would have loved it and ate it up. So, you know.
Oh, all right. Well,
3 stars.
Do we have to talk about the post-match? The Dick Druids come
No.
out. That's a Kazee term. And Joey Ryan makes his big return. The first Dick that walks out is Brandon Cutler, in case y'all didn't notice. I finally have one.
Dick.
I have one quote from the night, and that is, "This phalanx of phalluses lining the entranceway," which was Excalibur talking about dicks.
Finding out that first Dick was Brandon Cutler is worth the scene.
Go watch it again. He's sitting there trying not to laugh, walking out. He's like, "Why is it me? I'm a dick." Joey doesn't.
Listen, he had the balls to do it. Okay.
Oh, fuck off.
This is all I'll say on this. I'm just glad Tony Khan watched this, and even before Joey got canceled,
he was like,
he chose to not put this fucking cornball on television because he was never fucking good.
Joey
you can watch Lucha Underground and figure out that he's a fucking freak, but I mean, you know.
Joey does his usual dick spot and his usual stick. The Dick Druids take Hanger away, and we're finally off to the next match. Doesn't get much better from here because we have Jay Lethal walking to the ring. And
Don't let me have this one.
He's given Macho Man glasses and then gets slapped in his shoulder to be turned into Black Machismo. I don't fucking know, man. We get Jay Lethal defending the Ring of Honor World Championship with Lanny Poffo in his corner against Flip Gordon with Brandy Rhodes. Lethal's Ring of Honor run was great. He put on some bangers, but they were very much a formula-based thing. And at this point, I think I was just tired of it. It just did nothing for me. Like, I don't fucking know, dude. He flips from Black Machismo to Ring of Honor Lethal to Black Machismo. Flip sucks. Lethal wins via lethal injection, which looked fucking awesome. I love that move. I think he does it really well. Post-match, the Code of Honors met, but Bully Ray attacks both men. Colt Cabana comes down to make the save. 2 1/4. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Cortland.
I gave this match
a 1.5 stars.
Half a star.
I'll go 1.5 stars. It is my Cardi match of the week. Here you have it. This is a bunch of ha-ha bullshit crawl between your legs. Even Colt Cabana comes out to do his Cardi shit too. Nothing but love.
Colt Cabana's better than both of these fuckers.
Oh, for sure. Nothing. I have nothing but love for Colt Cabana, but it makes sense that if he's gonna come out, he's coming out in this match.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's nothing else to say about this match. Go ahead,
Pat.
I don't know what to fucking say. 2 stars, half a star. Who gives a dog shit? Like it's. Look, I'm not here to tear down black man's art, but it wasn't very artistic, if you ask me. I didn't enjoy this match literally at all. I was trying to find a word for it earlier when we were watching it, and Cortland said carny shit, and I was like, damn, dude, I think I might have to say that for this match, because that's really all it really. I don't care at all. Brandy Rhodes.
All right.
I will say the call from Don Callis is so funny in the beginning, because they're like, I think it was Excalibur was like, well, someone said something about Brandy coming out, and Don was like, I don't like that at all. Cody's getting work done and bringing food to the table, and she's sneaking out the back door to be with Flippy.
Yeah.
That's so funny because he called him Flippy.
Ethan, what you got, buddy?
I don't want to spend too much time on it. I could go on a tangent.
I know you can.
But I'm not. And I know you don't want me to. Everybody's sitting here ready to go home. So I'll keep it short and simple, be quiet and respectful, Ethan. Oh, yeah. Everybody sucks. Yeah. 2 stars. Yeah. There's what y'all want from me? What you got?
No, bud. Go ahead. Let loose.
No.
Give me 1 minute of you letting loose. Just a solid minute.
I'm not, because I could offend some people.
Just go ahead, bud. Who gives a fuck?
Buddy.
Set that shit out.
Yeah, dude,
This
you're
was my
either-
reminder.
I need you to flip your narrative and control it this time around, okay?
This is just, to me, was my reminder that this is a Ring of Honor show. And it sucks. Just like everything they did just about in the year 2018. They shit the bed at Madison Square Garden with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and motherfuckers, New Japan ain't done a joint show over here with anybody since. And here you are. Yeah.
But I mean, is New Japan putting out good product themselves anymore?
They're not, but they're worth way more than. Never mind.
Yeah,
All
true.
right.
That's right. We're good. We're good. Go ahead.
Oh God!
Go ahead.
Whoa!
Fuck Flip Gordon, you flat earth piece of dog shit. Never come to AEW. I know the Young Bucks want you there, but no, we're good on you.
Earlier, we were watching this back, and Flip Gordon lands a drop kick that looked really great. And Pat said, "Shit, with drop kicks like that, there must be a flat earth."
That's funny.
That's me dying.
I'll give it a star and I'll move on.
Casey.
I love you.
I'm just gonna read this kind of just line for line to get this over with. I have Flat Earth versus Black Machismo. Fitting that during the match, Flip would embody Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
I'm giving it a gentleman's 2. And it said, "Oh look, Bully Ray, as if we didn't have enough pieces of shit on this card. I think 3 grown men could barely lift his fat ass off the ground."
Ring of Honor.
Dude, I
Ring
think it's
of
funny
Honor.
that can I add something?
Hmm?
I think it's hilarious that Bully Ray was so fat that the table didn't break; it collapsed.
It
You know what I
took
think's hilarious?
3 grown men to do the Shield power bomb, and they could barely get him off the ground.
We're
You know what I
body
love?
positive here, but fuck Bully Ray.
The fact that he said, "Oh shit," as he was getting power bombed, as if that would make me care about his worthless ass in the team.
Oh my God. Oh my.
Him walking
God.
to that ring meant nothing to me.
All right.
Anyways,
let's move forward
the-
to the best match on this fucking card,
Yes.
which was Kenny Omega versus Penta Elcero. To contrast the previous match, this fucking rocked. Kenny Omega was arguably the best wrestler in the world at this time, and I would say Penta was the most underrated wrestler in the world at this time. And so for them to have a showcase here was fucking great. They killed it with the time that they had. There was a spot where Penta hits a package pile driver on the apron, slides Kenny back inside, and then hits a fucking double stomp. And I was like, I want to throw up. That was like the coolest fucking 1-2 wombo combo I've ever seen. I loved it. Thought it was awesome. The back and forth, sliding out of each other's finishers and making shit happen was fucking awesome. It was compelling. It felt good and felt like these guys could beat the fuck out of each other and anybody could have won. But Omega wins via One Winged Angel. I went 4 stars flat on it. Casey.
Where do I start on this? This might be a hot take.
I'll have a hot take.
Because of this match, and y'all can hate me, and I don't give a fuck. I feel like Excalibur and Ian Riccaboni should be the only 2 people commentating for AEW currently. I feel like they both understand their assignments, and yeah, they say goofy shit, especially on this card, but they're both great together. I think they mesh well together. I love this match. It was my favorite match then. It was my favorite match now. I'm not going to get into specifics, but even the shit that happens after, all of it is fucking great. That fucking package pile driver on the apron's brutal. Omega's pile driver in return later is fucking gnarly as shit. I literally thought, Pentagon hits his fucking head. Like, I literally thought he got spiked on his fucking head. I give it 4.5.
I love
I
it.
love it. I
I
love it.
love that. Cortland.
I love this match for a lot of reasons. My only gripe is my same gripe with Kenny Omega that I've always had. It's a lot of Kamehameha build up. Take 20 seconds while someone's selling for fucking ever outside of the ring waiting for you to jump. But other than that, this is a great representation of what top athletes in professional wrestling looks like. Penta is one of those guys that can mesh with anyone from any culture. Doesn't matter if you're from America, went to Japan, and you work that like in between style. He can mesh with you any way he can. It's really cool to run this back and like see the trajectory of where both of them are at now. I do love Rey Fenix, but I do think that Penta is such a big character and so important to lucha wrestling that it would be a shame for him not to get a singles run in AEW. Especially after seeing this match. Like Ethan said a few times, if Tony Khan is watching this event, how are you going to say you're not trying to get both of these guys no matter how big the bill is? You know? They put on a fucking showcase here. And I really enjoyed it. I think that, like Mike said, them escaping constant finishers with each other. I believe Penta got out of the one-winged angel 4 times.
Yeah.
He did
Like,
everything he could.
Man, and it looks fucking great, man. They just really mesh well together. I don't have any gripes about this match, and I stand with Kazee. This is 4.5 stars.
I love that. The best part about the finish is that Penta's still fighting to get out of it.
Yes, I was
That's
also
good
going to
shit.
mention that too.
Well, that's
like-
the whole
It's like I
story.
kicked out, but I kicked out at 3.5 but I still kicked out.
Because the whole,
And that I always love that.
because especially at this point, we're on the heels of one of the arguably best matches like of the decade being against Okada, and it's like you do not want to be in that position. Like you do not kick out of that fucking one wing angel. Like it's just not happening. So like
It's
the
a
fact
very
that he's
protected
like
finisher, man.
get the fuck away from me as much as possible. So
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah, man, I really enjoyed them like doing each other's or attempting to do each other's finishers because sometimes that like you see it in the Nick Aldis match with Cody and like it just fucking it didn't feel right. It just felt like it didn't belong. But in this match, it did. This match felt like whatever you can do, I can do better, and that's really what pro wrestling is about, you know.
And it was believable. That's the big
Well,
Oh,
they're
that's
also
the biggest-
showing the story where you have Penta doing that fucking nasty arm thing that he does.
Yeah,
and
which
so,
is
and so
love.
Another fucking
is selling the shit out of his arm and is like, how the fuck am I going to do the one wing angel? Because that's the arm I need.
Excalibur says that
yeah.
on commentary
Yeah,
too.
it's like oh fuck, like that's like kind of a scary thing for him to think about, and he still like overcomes that. God, I love this goddamn match.
Pat,
yeah, man,
what'd you
this
go?
is one of my favorites.
I went 4 stars on it. I know earlier I said my highest rating was 3.75. We initially said 5 stars. Watch this match, so like it's just been teetering all day. But yeah, 4 stars. I mean, it's a phenomenal match. It's not more you could ask from 2 phenomenal athletes. You know, nobody really. You know, we had a conversation in our other group chat the other day about Mount Rushmores, and I feel like a person that doesn't get mentioned enough is Penta, and I get it.
100%.
I understand, like 100%
I
why
think
he doesn't. But
I think it's because there's not been a lot of
We
unless
haven't had
you
it yet.
watched him in Mexico.
Yeah.
Overall,
We haven't seen
besides
it yet.
the short period of time that he was in Lucha Underground and now in AEW, he just hasn't had the time.
That
but
main
like,
event
Yeah.
picture match.
but like, yeah,
Like,
you
he
watch him, and you're like,
needs that.
fuck, he's impressive.
he's so impressive, and I feel like it is time. Like I feel like it is time that Penta gets like that singles run, that like push that I feel like everybody's been waiting for. This showed you back then how good he is, and we see every fucking week how fucking good he is. And obviously Kenny fucking Omega, man. He's one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. So it's it's just a perfect match, man. It's really, really good shit from both people. Obviously what happened after the match was even cooler. I feel like I'm not gonna get into that. Obviously I'll wait. But yeah,
Adds
4
a lot.
stars.
Oh,
Love it.
one more thing I want to add is that I love that this match is not for the IWGP Championship. It feels more important. Like this is for Like, who the
Right.
fuck is better?
Yep.
That's
You
it.
know what I mean? And that's what
Mhm.
just sometimes it's like the old phrase of like, this person doesn't need a belt or this match doesn't need a championship. And this one absolutely did not need it. It felt important to everyone in the room. Everyone's unglued, man. From within 5 minutes into this match, I don't think anyone's, which is really hard to do when you have this fucking plus hour pay-per-view, you know?
Yeah. Ethan, what you got on it, my friend?
I'm going to be the low man on this one, which may come as a shock to some. It's a really tough one for me. First thing I'd like to say is it was the best match on the show. It's the only match on the show that, to me, had a genuine big fight feel. Cody and Nick Aldis had a forced big fight feel. But this one, it was like, these are two of the best wrestlers in the world. Let's just have them go at it.
Yeah, like you didn't have the commentators didn't have to sell this match. They were selling the Cody and Aldis match like it was the greatest thing they'd ever seen.
Yeah, and all you had to do was put Kenny and Penta in the ring together, and it was just
They'll
crazy.
do
And the thing about it is I don't think they touched in the ring except maybe once prior to this.
Yeah, they said
so-
like a 6-man tag, like
At PWG, I think.
Yeah.
for the Battle of Los Angeles.
So it was almost like a battle of, two different worlds at this point. Now we see them both as AEW guys, tried and true, but at this point, it was kind of like, here's this huge, lucha star versus this huge, I'm going to say Japanese star, because until AEW, Kenny Omega was a Japanese
Wasn't in
wrestling
America.
star.
Yeah.
So my thing with it was 2018 was one of Kenny Omega's best years. It was a year where I didn't watch much wrestling except New Japan because New Japan was so good at the time. So, like at the beginning where I said, this show, I didn't even watch it in full. Like I heard Cody and them were doing this thing and it sold out and I thought it was cool. But I was just so out of American wrestling and so bored of American wrestling, I literally YouTubed someone that uploaded it the next day and I watched Omega Penta in the main event just to see. And I hate that I'm so low on this because I even was when I first watched it. And I first rated it 3 3/4, and that was honestly, I may have given it 4 stars when I first reviewed. But like even then, I felt forced with it. It's just because I saw everyone shitting their pants over it on Twitter, and I'm like, on this year where I saw Kenny, I gave Kenny Omega 3 5-star matches in 2018, which is crazy. It was the Okada 2 out of 3 falls, the Bucks versus Golden Lovers match, and then his match with Ishii in the G1. And then I gave him, I was counting them up. I gave him 7, 4.5, and 4 3/4 this year because he was just on fucking fire. And so when I watched this match, I was just like, okay, it just felt watered down. And I think it's because of the vibe of the show for me. It just felt like almost
Well, also,
If you
they
put these-
just got out of G1, didn't he?
he did just come out of the G1. Yeah.
Like, my man is fucking tired, and he just put on a crazy-ass tournament before G1.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, I'm not complaining on it because I understand why they would have. To me, it felt like if you put, I hate to say it this way, if you put those two on autopilot or whatever in a video and they did all their different stuff, that's what this was to me. And I hate to say that because the stuff they do is cool, but even on the second go round, I didn't get gripped by anything really. They did the stuff that I like to see them do, but it just felt like toying around until they got into all the big moves and near fall reversals. And it just, I did 3.5 on it. Because I love these guys. I mean, I suck Kenny Omega's butthole all the time on this podcast, but
Wow.
yeah,
What a sentence.
I know I was gonna go.
Gotta
As
call
I was-
Yeah,
that
I know
one
where
on
you're
your
going. I
tweet.
know where you're going. I know.
It
where
was
you're
like
going.
you tried to bring
I
it
know
back
where
in
you're
and then
going.
you just kept going.
I know.
Butthole.
You're like, I'm gonna suck his. Fuck, I'm gonna suck his asshole. It's fine.
Butthole.
But yeah, no, I mean they did a really good job. I just hate that I don't like it more because everyone loves it so much, and I love these guys.
I think where you're coming from, and it makes sense, is that if you've been watching all Japan wrestling, you've seen this stuff and you've seen what he can and can't do, and then like once again, like if you've watched like Lucha Underground and stuff, like you've seen the
Same.
things that he can do, but then when you've got 10,000 people in an arena that may or may not have seen either one, it's like let them fucking do all of the shit. Like let them have it.
I think they worked this match the way they did because of that reason. Because I'm sure they knew, there's going to be people here who don't know who either one of us are, don't know us that extensively, or like, you know, I know a ton of people I used to meet that would be like, oh, you watch New Japan? You've heard of Kenny Omega, right? And all they've really done is watch YouTube highlight reels, and that's cool. But like, that's kind of the fan I felt like this was catering to, which is fine because it started a fucking revolution, no pun intended, you know, and that's sick. But, you know, for me, I was just like, it felt like, hey, here's these guys, this is what they do, and nothing for me.
Yeah.
But it still was the best match of the night. 3.5 stars, bud.
I like it. Post-match, the lights go out and the crowd's confused, but Penta gets up and attacks Omega, and it turns out that it's Chris Jericho. The crowd pop when he hits the first code breaker is so fucking sick, because they're realizing, like, holy shit.
Well, you start to get the realization before, because everyone's like, wait a fucking minute, like, those aren't his tattoos.
I know those
They're
tattoos,
like, oh, fuck, and then he hits it, and they go, what the fuck?
And then you have the unmasking. Dude, people love Chris Jericho, man. He then says that he'll see Omega on the Jericho cruise, and that's the end of that.
So, quick question, for anyone who may know. They already did Omega Jericho before this. Was
Japan.
This just building to a rematch on the cruise?
I guess.
They're just building the cruise.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Because it got so much hype just for a cruise match. I don't know. Anyway.
I think
it was because it was done so well.
He sells those cruises out, He sells those cruises out.
You made 2 identical Pentagon gears. Like,
that was sick.
Like,
have you heard the story about that?
No.
That's not the same gear. They were scrambling because the only other gear that Penta had was silver gear. And obviously that's not him.
Yeah.
And so they just tucked it in. Like, he was like, I got dressed and went out immediately. Like, I didn't have any time at all. I'll find the clip and I'll send it to you, because him talking about it is like, you put yourself in that moment. It's fucking crazy. It's such a cool thing.
Fuck.
Not to bring the mood down, but we get a backstage bit with Marty Squirrel. Then we get Marty Squirrel versus Okada. Words. Kazuchika Okada. At this point, if Kenny Omega wasn't number 1 in your best wrestler in the world book, like if he wasn't on that list, he wasn't number 1, Okada was. That's where we're at in the world right now. Chicago showed the fuck out for Okada and gave him a very warm welcome. It wasn't the most offensive match to watch, but it's obvious that Okada had to, like, dumb his style down and, like, water his shit down to match Skrull.
Back to being a young lion?
It was just obvious that this got carried. It was whatever. Double Rainmaker from Okada allows him to pinfall. It was fine. 3 stars, whatever. Ethan, floor's yours, bud.
What?
Nothing.
He said 3 stars, and Cortland went, just disapproval.
Here's the deal, dude. I'm not about to shit on an Okada match that he flew over from Japan to fucking work this shit. I refuse.
That's the gripe at this point.
Yeah.
So, I do want to preface it by saying this is real hard for me because I hate Marty Squirrel.
But you love Kazuchika Okada,
but we know, you know, everyone here knows what's up with that, so I don't have to explain all that. This was actually, but the thing is, I didn't like Marty Squirrel as a wrestler before he got canceled, so this was even double less interesting to me. Like, when I saw this card, this was the match where I was like, oh, that's gonna really suck, because Marty Squirrel is so self-indulgent, and he wants to be Will Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr. mixed together, and he just can't do it, and he's really, really not good at doing it. So, and then you got Okada, who is fucking Okada, but you also have Okada, who is fucking Okada, and will do that same match he always does. And when you don't have someone to kind of bump him up and push him a little bit, it's going to be kind of boring. But here, I like this a lot, and I was shocked. I didn't want to like it, but I liked it a lot, mainly because of Okada, but Squirrel's performance was better than most of the performances I've seen him have, to be honest. I've seen some very bad Marty Squirrel matches. But Okada here, I just feel like when he came to the States, at least at this point, was this the last time he was in the States?
I think
it feels like it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So maybe I guess I could say What were you gonna say, Mike?
He was over in America for like the New Japan.
The New Japan G1
Yeah.
in Texas in 2019. That's what
But
he
he
was
also
over here for.
he was over here for the match against Buddy Matthews. No, that was in America. That was the New Japan thing, right?
Oh, the New Japan Strong thing.
Am I crazy? It's
I
fine.
fucking don't remember.
He's
But
been
anyways.
over. He's been over since 2018, though.
But like, if you guys haven't seen any of Okada's, this is probably the last one I'd recommend. But when he first came to America in like 2014, aside from the TNA shit, I'm talking about when he was actually fucking Okada. When he came over for the ROH shows in 2014, 2015, and all that, he had this. Just to me, even here, he had that same luster of he knows he's a fucking star and he knows people came to see him. And he gave him a show here. I just love Okada when he's good and when he's on point. And 2018 was a fucking phenomenal year for him, just like it was Omega. I don't know who I'd even pick as who was the best wrestler in the world that year. It's so fucking hard. But I hate to give Marty Squirrel a 3 1/4 match in 2022, but I'm gonna give it that. Good match. I literally, if Marty Squirrel wasn't a piece of shit, I would probably say it was the thing I enjoyed most on the show because I enjoyed it more than I did Omega and Penta. But I hate Marty Squirrel, so it's tough.
Fuck 'em.
November 2021, he was over for Battle in the Valley against Buddy Matthews. That was in California. So he's been over a few times. Cortland, I know that you're contrasting what we're saying, so floor's yours, bud. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I am. I'll give this match 2 3/4, and it's all for Okada. Yeah, I think that there's some good timing from Marty here. The umbrella spot was really good timing. Facial expressions sold it. The crowd really loved that spot. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot to say. I think it was extremely underwhelming when I expected Okada to be put in this spotlight in America on a pay-per-view. I expected it to be against somebody like Kenny Omega. I expected it to be against somebody that I thought had more push behind them, but I'm thinking that I just forget how over Marty was at this time because, dude, people ate up Villain Enterprise. Like, they ate it up. Which I didn't really get it, but a lot of people I know did.
I want just to say out loud that I'm fucking pissed that my Brody King Violence is the Answer shirt has Villain Enterprises on the sleeve. It's got the Villain Enterprises right here, but I can't. I like have a hard time wearing it now because someone fucking ruined it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go any further on this match. So I don't have any notes. It was fine. Okada deserves to be in this placement on this card. Marty Squirrel does not. That's all.
How'd you like that Okada dropkick, bro?
Oh, gorgeous.
Good.
It's
Love
fucking
that.
gorgeous.
Love that. Casey.
I think me and Ethan talked about this one a little bit, and it was just kind of the back and forth of like how confusing it was that they picked Marty of all people. Like, there's multiple times in this where they go, fuck him up, Marty, fuck him up. And I'm like, you are the most disrespectful fucking people. This is Okada. Like, and like I was telling Ethan, and they comment on it when he's coming out. Like, we're in a weird Okada time because he has the red hair and he was doing the balloon shit.
Yeah, he used to come
And,
out
like,
with balloons.
Because like he like lost his mind after losing to Omega, and like there was a weird dark period for a couple of months there where everyone's like, this is awkward. But like, yeah, why Marty? I don't understand.
It's the friendship thing, man. They had.
I mean, like, yeah, I understand not giving everyone fucking Omega Okada at All In. I understand that, but like, there's so many other fucking people that would have worked better.
It's just loyalty to a fault, man.
And if you didn't catch my comment, because I was rudely interrupting Mike when he was saying that they dumbed down, Okada had to dumb his stuff down. I said, yeah, back to being a young lion, like that far down.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 3 solely because I don't feel like Okada deserves less. No, like it is what it is. Give him his plane ticket and get him the fuck home. Like,
okay, Pat, It's you, my friend. You are the
I
penultimate
gave-
one here on this match.
I gave it 3 stars. It was a good match. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. Obviously, the transgressions of Marty Squirrel and Okada being a god is really the story here in 2022. But the match itself wasn't bad. It was kind of underwhelming. I don't know. God damn, this pay-per-view was long. So this match being where it was kind of just bad placement for me. I was exhausted at this point. So it's just like...
It shouldn't have been 26 minutes long.
Goddamn no. No.
God, was it really?
Yeah.
And I mean, you can also tell, that they're obviously, I know that, they're not AEW yet, but, this is their first pay-per-view they're trying to run, and you can tell, like I said earlier, it's going to have its issues, and, them getting to the next match is an issue. Them trying to figure out where to go from, the announcer's table to the entrance ramp, or, to the segment backstage. It's just always, there's too much time in between everything. Even your blow up for your next match. I remember one of the matches, just the flyer itself sat on the screen for 40 something seconds. Pat and I stood there fucking get it off the screen. Hurry it the fuck up. But, it just had so much stuff that could have made this event better. You probably could have trimmed off 15 minutes on just getting to your next shit.
I just read something that said Dave Meltzer gave 6 matches 4 stars and higher. Rey Mysterio, Bandito, and Rey Fenix versus the Young Bucks and Kota Ibushi is our main event. This fucking rocked. This was so goddamn good.
I don't like how fast you just segued away from that comment.
I have to, right? I just have to throw it out there. It blew my mind when I read it. It was so weird that the Skrull Okada match ends and they're immediately okay, y'all are out, entrances are in.
They ran out of time.
Yeah.
I watched this.
Hear Ian Riccaboni he can't even sign off properly. He's for the Young Bucks.
No, it literally. Once again, I paid for this shit. It cuts off. They ran out of time. There's extra shit afterwards that no one got to see because they ran out of time, completely. I think if I'm not mistaken, the actual pay-per-view, it's hard. Unless you got the replay of it and they were able to kind of fix it, I think this match gets cut off. That's how fucking rushed this shit is, because their timing is all over the fucking place.
Yo, I think this match did get cut.
Dude, this of all matches to cut, you couldn't have fucking taken time off of Joey Janela Adam Page.
Fucking Skrull match that just happened.
Yes, cut that bitch in half.
Wash Squirrel out in 12 minutes. That's my take.
Dude, this was a full-blown lucha match that these 6 dudes threw on, and it was fucking great. It was a showcase for all of them. Phoenix put on throughout this, and Bandito was arguably the most fun to watch. He was fucking going wild.
God damn it, I love him.
Those flips that turn into a handstand, fuck, dude, that's cool as shit. The crowd response when you had Ibushi and Mysterio tag in, and you just get the holy shit chant.
10,000 people jump out of their seats.
Dude, that's some chill-inducing shit, man.
Holy shit.
That's some chill-inducing shit. It's
you
good
know what
stuff.
sucks? Fucking Ray, man. He did this match, and I don't know if y'all know he worked New Japan after this and worked against Okada in a trios.
No.
Yeah, he worked. It was Mysterio, Kushida, and Taguchi versus Okada, Sho, and someone else, I think.
I gotta watch that.
And it's bro, man, we were so close to having that dream run. Fuck.
And then he's like, "Oh, Dominic."
The paychecks came back, man.
hey, money talk, man. Money's
hey, man, I get it. Meltzer driver on Bandito for the Golden Elite victory. We had a 3 3/4 star match. Pat, my man.
I agree. 3 3/4 star match. It was a fucking doozy. I was fucking, like I said, the last match, I was fucking exhausted, and I didn't know how I would make it to the pod, honestly, watching this shit back. I was like, I'm gonna fucking fall asleep before this podcast starts. And then the main event happened, and, Cortland made a cup of coffee, we watched the main event, and I was standing up the entire time. It was just exciting.
Good
it
stuff.
Was just, what you want out of these 6 dudes in this ring, what they gave you, just some of the most pure athleticism you could ever fucking have. craziest spots you can ask for. It was just fucking organized chaos. And boys ride for that shit. I loved it. 3 3/4, 4 stars on a good day. Fuck it.
Love it. Cortland.
I gave this 3 3/4 as well. A huge shout out to Nick Jackson because he looked fucking fantastic in this match. His fire comeback hot tag was picture fucking perfect. Shout out to Ray Phoenix, like you said. He does a really cool spot where I think it was either Matt or Nick duck one of his like running across the ropes, ducks it, kicks the other person. Timing is just flawless. Crowd loved it. You get the typical like WWE-ish spot where someone's standing outside, someone does a tope, then both of them stand outside for someone else to do a tope, then the 3 of them stand outside for the 4th person to do it. So we got that, but this time it just felt cool, man. You got variations of them just like upping the move each time. You got Ray doing his spin, and then you got Phoenix doing his like bottom rope twirl spin tope, and then Bandito doing his from the turnbuckle.
Like a psycho.
Yeah, man, this crowd really ate it up. I loved Bandito doing the catch on the backflips. One of those times he does it, and Nick Jackson stops, looks right at him, and super kicks him.
Right in the fucking gut, dude. Just,
I laughed really hard at that. I was like, man, that is good shit right there. I like this match, man. It sucks that Rey Mysterio is stuck playing the fucking daddy daycare.
He won that ladder match fair and square, goddammit. He signed those fucking papers. It's his child. He's going to protect him.
Is nobody going to comment on this man's outfit?
Wolverine?
Dude, it was sick.
OG Wolverine now.
Who said that?
Ethan did. He looked like a yellow Power Ranger, Ethan.
It was still sick.
I don't know what any of that shit means. I just know what shit looks like.
He was like when I was dressed up as when I was like 6 years old at Halloween.
Cut that party city.
But yeah, man, I don't want to shit on this match at all. I think it's really cool. It's really cool to see Kota Ibushi here. It's really cool to see him in the States, not dealing with WWE bullshit like he dealt with. But
I want to add something. I made this note earlier. It is crazy with Ibushi being who he is and like how amazing of a wrestler he is or whatever, and seeing him like kind of struggle to keep up with everybody in this match.
There was just a lot.
Everyone's going so fast.
In all fairness, his tag partners are on a different fucking level, though. And even there's times where, like, Bandito and Phoenix are battling to be who's the fucking wildest in this match.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, go watch New Japan and then go watch AAA and see where these other fuckers come from. It's totally different style-wise. Like, totally different.
So wait, were you saying that Ibushi was out of place or Mysterio?
Ibushi.
I got you. I think too because he fucking put on so much weight when he became a heavyweight. He changed his style so much because he used to flip around so much more, and like it's just so weird looking at him. And like in this match, he's like the big guy. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and he was always the flippy guy. So that is a funny point.
What did you? Go ahead.
One more spot. I gave it 3 3/4. One more spot that I enjoyed. We see it all the time with the Young Bucks. They do that like the running power bomb to the corner while Nick does the kick
to the back of the head. Oh, it's beautiful.
Dude, and they hit this one, and he doesn't make it to the turnbuckle because Nick's foot fucking stops him. And I don't know if y'all noticed that, but I mean, dude, he hits him, frame in the neck, and he just stops all momentum and just drops right in front of the turnbuckle.
Yeah, no, it's fucking gnarly as shit.
Who was that on?
Dude, I was like, this, like, good God.
Fuck, who was that on?
I forgot who took it, man, but someone
it's only
took
11.
it.
It's only 11 minutes long. I'll rewatch it.
I think they did it to Bandito, if I'm not. I could be wrong, but yeah, it's fucking gnarly, dude.
Because he wouldn't have kicked Ray like that. There's no way. Because, dude, he kicked the shit out of him.
They if they would have thrown Ray like that, he would have gone over the turnbuckle.
In the third row.
These are 6 good wrestlers that really benefited from being in the main event, even with a time crunch. It's just 6 athletes busting out their A+ game with each other.
It's like
Kazee.
This is like a random tangent, but I like to collect lucha masks, and I really want a Bandito one, so I gotta like re-look at them because they're really hard to find. Not a lot of people make them. That was just like a thought that came into my head. I literally wrote flippy shit in overdrive 3 3/4. This is There's so much crazy shit going on. I don't know how anyone was able to keep up on commentating this shit.
Yeah. Especially doing a 4-hour show and then doing this 6-man with these people and be like, I'm done calling spots. I can't.
They did a flip.
Dude,
They did another flip.
Yeah, I feel like
You figure it the fuck out.
I found you the mask.
As soon as they heard cutting that shit, they were like,
Did
"Yo,
you?
don't talk
Link
to me
it.
for like the next."
While you're doing that, what'd you go on it, Casey?
3 3/4.
Okay, all right, bud. Pressure's on you, and I know you're not giving it to it. So, way to ruin the flow we had, Ethan. But go ahead. What'd you give this, my friend?
What did y'all all give it?
3
3
3/4 the whole way through.
Oh man, fuck. I'm sorry, guys. 3.5.
I was
sorry.
expecting like a 2.
Oh no,
I'm sorry, man. It was like a
Yeah,
star
I
and a half.
thought you were about to kill this match like for real.
No, man. I can't give almost any of these guys except Bandito anything lower than 3 stars.
God damn. All right, bud.
I like Bandito, but he's had some rough
It happens.
He's just had some rough ones.
It happens.
No, man. This thing was just so awesome. Not to hype the Young Bucks even more, but considering they're the least, well, I guess Phoenix and Bandito are least experienced, but the Bucks were kind of leading this match, as they almost always do when they are in these big matches, and just to see them, even though the time constraints on the whole pay-per-view was fucked, the fact that they still went out there and they were able to be like, all right, we're still gonna make this work, and it's not gonna be a mess. They've never worked under time restraints like this, so for them to come out there and still be able to be like, all right, we're still going to be able to have a batshit fucking trios match that no one's let down by. I just think it's a testament to how fucking great they are.
Dude, imagine how much it helped having Ray in this match, though, because he's used to time restraints. He's
the only one.
He's used to count-ins and count-outs. Like, he was definitely a great person to have when you're in a time constraint.
Did you hear? I don't know if could y'all hear someone calling out how much time they had left?
Yeah.
In the match?
We got 3 left.
Yeah, I was just like, God. That fucking sucks.
There was no other way to get it done because they would have gone on for forever.
Yeah, but my biggest takeaway from it was I'd really just wish Ray would have stuck around long enough to fucking be in AEW or just be a free agent and work more New Japan stuff. Like,
dude, Ray and Death Triangle would be so special. Like, it would feel complete.
Yeah. And like, while we were looking at it after I was talking about it, I looked up those 2 New Japan matches he did, and he had the one I mentioned. But this is fucking wild, and I don't even remember this happening. Jushin Liger, Rey Mysterio, and Tanahashi versus Hangman Page, Cody, and Marty Squirrel.
What the fuck?
That sounds actually pretty sick.
Yeah.
Yo,
I want to watch that,
2018.
man. Holy fuck, dude.
Check this out.
Send it.
Dominion 2018, the same night Okada and Omega had 2 out of 3 falls. The whole fucking do a show on it.
Oh, it's Dominion, dude. Such a good show.
We should, man. How long did Omega Okada go that night, though? An hour?
90.
It went an hour and a half? Oh, my God.
90 minutes.
If that's the same Dominion match I'm thinking of, because they had 2.
Fly by, dude.
It was 5
Those
stars,
matches
100%.
are insane. It's probably the greatest match of all time, really.
Dude, like, it's like...
I hate to be that way, but I don't know if there's anything that's really close.
Dude, like
that match is fucking nuts.
90 minutes, right? So I watched the CM Punk Chris Hero 92-minute IWA match, and I was like, okay, it was epic, but like 4 1/4, But like I watched this Omega Okada match, that 90 minutes felt like 40. Like
it goes so
I've
fast.
watched 20-minute matches that dragged on longer than their 90, straight up, and I didn't expect it to. I really didn't. But anyway, close the show out 3.5. Shout out to these boys for rocking it. Bring Mysterio back to AEW before he retires. That's it.
Man.
Leave Dom.
Yeah.
Unless you want to have him jobbed out to Hook. That'd be tight.
Oh, I love it.
Shit, I'd let his ass job at QT Marshall on Dark Elevation.
I would not. Dude, be nice. He's at least young enough to figure it out, dude. Fuck
Holy shit.
And him being QT Marshall, bitch ass. All right, y'all. Well, we made it to the end of the episode. Don't forget on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, to rate us and give us 5 stars if you love us. Tell your friends about us. Let us know what you want to hear. And yeah, y'all just stay great. Stay beautiful. We'll be back here next Thursday, wherever you find your podcasts. UpAndOverPodcast.com to find all your merchandise. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram at UpAndOverPod. Tell us that we're great. Tell us that we're beautiful. Tell us that we suck. Whatever you want to talk about. Y'all have a great week, and we'll see you back here next weekend.